Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 2-2 of November 2020. So this one will be the full paper, including the questions 10 and 11 that I was missing from the past one. So anyways, let's move on to question number 1. So here we have to solve the inequality. As you can see, we have brackets and the more sign. So let's first expand the brackets. So you will have x squared minus 10x minus 8x plus 80 more than 35. Now let's send everything to one side. You will have x squared minus 18x plus 80 minus 35 more than 0. Simplify. Minus 18x. So what is plus 80 minus 35? That will be 45. Plus 45 more than 0. So now when we have this equation, we have to find the critical values. So critical values, pretty easy. Just take the same equation and instead of having more than, just equate that to 0. Now we have to solve for the values of x. So we factorize. X squared is x times x. 45 can be what? Let's think. We know 45 can be 3 times 15, right? 45 can be 3 times 15. So in that case, I can just put 3 here and 15 here. To get minus 18, we have to have minus 15 and minus 3 to get minus 18. Now we check. Minus times minus is plus, and here we have plus, so this is good factorization. Now solve x will be 15, x will be 3. Now these two are called the critical values. So these are not your answer because here it is equal, but we want more than 0. So we have to go back to our graph. This is, we realize that we have this equation. Now the coefficient of x squared is 1. It is positive 1. Because it is a positive value, we know the shape of the graph will be a minimum curve. Okay. Now these two will be the critical values. This is 3. This will be 15. This is the line of 0. Now the condition here is we need it to be more than 0. We need it to be on top of 0, this and this spot. So x has to be less than 3. X has to be more than 15. Okay, so that will be my answer for question number 1. Now question number 2, we have to find the value of x such that we have this equation. So now we just have to simplify everything step by step. So what is 4? 4 is 2 power 2. What is 32? It is 2 power 5. Let's check. So 2 power 5 be 32. Good. Now what is 8? 8 is 2 power 3. And what is 2? 2 is just 2 power 1. Now let's replace all those values by the base of 2. Okay, so you will have 2. That will be 2x plus 2 divided by 2x minus 1 is equal to 2 5x over 3 multiplied by 2 3 1 over 3. Okay, let's simplify. So here we have 2x plus 2. Now because we have divide, that will become minus, and that will be x minus 1. The base goes up, so this is the same power, it will go up, okay? Because here we have to use the law of indices. So for example, if you had 2 power a divided by 2 power b, because they have the same base, we can combine them by 2. Here we have a, and because we have divide, it become minus the power b. Same way, if you have 2 power a multiplied by 2 power b, because we have the same base, we can combine them. So 2, here we have a, multiply become plus b. So that is the laws of indices that we have to know for those kind of questions. Now this is equal to, here we have the same base, 5 over 3. Here we have multiply become plus 1. That is 3 times 1 over 3 is just 1. Now we simplify. Here we have 2, that will be 2x plus 2 minus x plus 1 is 2. 5x over 3 plus 1. Now because we have the same base of 2 on both sides, we can just cancel them. So cancel, cancel. You will have, so 2x minus x will be x plus 3, that will be 5x over 3 plus 1. So now we can simplify. Let's send all the x to one side. You will have 5x over 3 minus x, 3 minus 1. So that will be what? So base of 3. So here, let's simplify this first. You will have 5x over 3 minus x. That will be 2. Now simplify. If you want to eliminate the base, multiply by 3 everywhere. It is up to you. You can do that. You will have 5x minus 3x equal to 6. So here you will have 2x equal to 6. So from here, we can see that x has to be the value of 3 as my answer. That is my question number 2. Now let's move on to question number 3. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line joining the points 12 and 1. Okay, so first off, we have to know what are we trying to find. So we have to find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of the line joining these 2 points. So basically, let's say we have these 2 points here. They are joined by the line. But now we are trying to find the perpendicular bisector of that line. So basically, the line that will be in this direction at 90 going to the midpoint of the other line. So this will be, so let's call this the line L. This is the line P. So to find the equation of the line P, we must first find the gradient of line P. That makes sense, right? Because whenever you have to find the equation of a straight line, you have to first find the gradient. Now we realize that the line P is perpendicular to the line L. So based on that, we can use something that we know, which is if you take the gradient of L multiplied by the gradient of P, that should give you minus 1. So this is something we have to know to solve those kind of equations. Now also, by being a perpendicular bisector, we know that P passes through the midpoint of line L. So let's do that. First, the midpoint will be x1 plus x2. That will be 16 divided by 2 will be 8. 1 plus 3 is 4 divided by 2 will be 2. So the midpoint will be 8, 2. Now let's first find the gradient of line L. So y2 minus y1, that will be 3 minus 1 over 4 minus 12. That will be 2 over minus 8. That should be minus 1 over 4. Okay, based on this, you can see that gradient of the perpendicular should be 4. Okay, so now we have the gradient, we have the passing point as well, so pretty easy to find the equation. So we use the point 8, 2. That will be my x value, my y value. So y minus 2 over x minus 8 should be gradient. Now cross multiply. This is of course y minus 2, 4x minus 32. That will be y equal to 4x minus 32 plus 2. So y will be 4x minus 30 for my answer. Okay, so that will be part 1 in terms of mx plus c. Okay, so that will be part B now. Now, the perpendicular bisector cuts the axis at 2 points A and B. Find the length of AB. Okay, so pretty easy. So at the axis means the x-axis and the y-axis. Okay, so what do we know at the x-axis? We know that the value of y has to be 0. So replace 0 here, you will have 0 is 4x minus 30. So x has to be 30 divided by 4, that should be 7.5. Okay, now next one, the y-axis, what do we know? We know the value of x has to be 0. That will be y is minus 30. Okay, so now we have the 2 points. A will be the point 7.5, 0, and B will be the point 0, minus 30. Okay, so now we have to find the length of those 2 points. Pretty easy. We can just use your formula. So AB square root, that will be this value minus this, so x2 minus x1, that will be minus 7.5 square plus minus 30 square. Let's see what do we get. That will be about 30.9 units for the length of AB. Okay, so you can always make a drawing and then find the value as well. It is up to you. In this case, I just use the 2 points and use my formula to find the length. Okay, so let me double check the answer here. So we have the 2 points. We have to find the gradient, which is y2. So 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 minus this will be minus 8. Let's check. 4 minus 12 will be minus 8. That is correct. That is the gradient of line L, which is okay. Now we have to find P. We place back in this equation. You will have P as this. Makes sense. Now solving. Okay, that should be fine. That will be question number 3. Now let's move on to question number 4. We have to solve the simultaneous equation. So we have basically to find the values of x and y. So step by step, let's simplify the equations. So here we have log to the base of 3, x times y, that will be 2. Now x plus y will be 3 power 2. X plus y will be 9. That is my equation number 1. So something we have to know here is how to use logarithms. For example, if you have log to the base of a, let's say my value is x here, equal to b. To find x, we have to send a over here, become a power b. That's something we have to know in this question. Now for this one, we have log base of 3, x plus 1 is equal to log base of 3, y plus 2. Now here we have 2, right? Now because of the 2 is in front, we have to know we can send this on top. It will become log base of 3, x plus 1 square is log base of 3, y plus 2, same value. Now because we have log on both sides of the same base, we can just cancel them out. So you will have x plus 1 square is y plus 2. So that is my equation number 2. Okay. Now we can solve these two simultaneously. So let's make y become the subject of formula here. Y will be 9 minus x. Okay. Now replace the value of y in the other equation. So you will have x plus 1 square. Here we have y. Y is 9 minus x plus 2. Okay, simplify. So expand the brackets. You will have x squared plus 2x plus 1. That will be minus x plus 11. Let's send everything to one side. You will have x squared plus 2x plus x plus 1 minus 11 will be 0. Let's simplify. You will have x squared plus 3x minus 10 is 0. Now let's factorize. This one is a quadratic equation. We have x squared, so we have to have 2 brackets because of the square. X squared is x times x, pretty easy. And 10 is 5 times 2, so 5 and 2. Now to get plus 3, we have to have plus 5 and minus 2, right? So x can be 2, x can be minus 5. Now let's find the corresponding value of y. So y will be what? Y will be 9 minus x according to this equation, right? So y can be 7 here. Y will be 9 minus 5. So y can be, let's find out. So 9 plus 5 will be 14. Now, so we have two set of values. X is 2 and y is 7. And here we have x is minus 5 and y is 14. But now we have to check if they are both valid or not. So by observation, if you take this value here of x is minus 5, for example, if you plug the value here, minus 5 plus 1 is minus 4. But we know that logarithms cannot take negative values. So because of that, this answer set will be rejected. So we can only take x is 2 and y is 7 as your answer. That will be question number 4. Let's move on to question number 5. So do not use a calculator, so you have to show every step of your work. So part 1, find the equation of the tangent to the curve at the point where x equal to this. So for example, here you can see the curve has a shape somewhat like this. But because it is a cubic curve, you will have two stationary points. Okay, so now we have to find the equation of the tangent. So let's say this is the point. I don't know, for example, I don't know exactly where it is. Let's say it's here. We have to find the equation of that line, of the tangent. Tangent is a straight line. So as we have explained before, to find the equation of the straight line, we must first find the gradient, right? So we have to know gradient of tangent is actually dy by dx. So let's find dy by dx. So here we have y. So dy by dx will be what? 3x squared minus 12x plus 3. Okay. Now I say at the point of x equal to 1. So let's find that value. Dy by dx at x equal to 1. That will be 3 times 1 minus 12 plus 3. 3 minus 12 plus 3, that should be minus 6 as my answer. So minus 6 will be the gradient of my tangent. Now, we know the x value, so this is 1. But what is the y value? Replace back in your main equation. So y will be 1 minus 6 plus 3 plus 10. Okay, 1 minus 6 plus 3 plus 10, that will be 8. Okay, so the passing point will be 1, 8, then this xy. So I'll use y minus 8 over x minus 1, that will be minus 6. Now we cross multiply, you will have y minus 8 will be minus 6 plus 6, sorry, 6x. Now simplify, y will be minus 6x plus 6 plus 8, so y will be minus 6x plus 14. So that will be my answer for part 1 for the equation of tangent. Now for part B, we have to find the coordinates of the point where the tangent meets the curve again. So basically, we want to find the points of intersection between the curve and the tangent. Okay, so let's do that. So of the points, so there's only another point now. Okay, so the curve is y equal to x cubed minus 6x squared plus 3x plus 10. And we know the tangent is this one, minus 6x plus 14. Now we have to solve simultaneously. So replace this back in here. So on one side you will have this equation. And then on the other side you will have this equation. Now let's bring everything to one side. You will have x power 3. So here we have minus 6x squared plus 3 plus 6 will be plus 9x plus 10 minus 14, that should be minus 4 is 0. Okay, so now we know already that the one point of intersection is x equal to 1, which means that if x equal to 1 is one of the solution, which if you send this over here, we know that x minus 1 will be one of the factors. So we can just find the other factors by using long division. So whenever we have cubic curves, usually we have to use long divisions when it comes down to add math. This is usually how it works. We most likely will be using long divisions when we have something cubic. Now let's do this. So first thing is, how can you make x become x cubed? You have to multiply by x squared. So you have x cubed, so this multiply, you will have x squared. Simplify, this will go away. Now minus 6 minus minus become plus, that will be minus 5x squared. Now how can you make x become minus 5x squared? So multiply by minus 5x. So you will have minus 5x squared plus 5x. This will go away. 9 minus 5 will be 4x minus 4. Now finally, how can you make x become 4x? Multiply by plus 4, right? So you will have 4x minus 4, and that will be 0. So I realized that this equation can be written as x minus 1 and x squared minus 5x plus 4, and now we have to equate to 0 to find the values that we need. So factorize this one and you'll see what happens. So this will be same thing. Here we have two brackets because it is x squared, x times x. 4 is 4 times 1. To get minus 5, we have to have minus 1. The minus 1 minus 4. So when you can see, x will be the value of 1, x will be the value of 1, x will be the value of 4. So for the one we know already, so this is something that we have already, so we have to find the other one, which is this one. Now find the corresponding y value, replace back in your equation, minus 6 times 4 plus 14. So minus 6 times 4 plus 14, that will be minus 10. So the other points will be, 4 and minus 10 for my answer. Sorry. So that will be my question number 5. Let's move on to question number 6. So here we have to find the exact value of this integration. So I would say in this case, let's make this easy for us. So let's simplify this fraction. Let's first expand the top. So we have x plus 1 squared. That will be x squared plus 2x plus 1. And now we have divide by x squared, divide by x squared. We can simplify this. That will become x squared divided by x squared plus 2x over x squared plus 1 over x squared. This will become 1 plus 2 over x and plus 1 over x squared. Now we can again simplify again. That will be what? 1 plus 2 x power minus 1 plus x power minus 2. Okay, so now we have to find this integration. So this one actually we should not do this because this one is easy to work with. So integration of 4 to limits, that will be 1 plus 2 over x plus x power minus 2. That will give you what answer? Let's see. That will be x plus 2 ln of x, and then this will give you x power minus 1 divided by minus 1. Right. That will be for this one. And we have to simplify for the limits. That will be 4, 2. So that will be 4 plus 2 ln of 4 plus, so that'll become minus actually because we have minus here, minus 1 over 4. because we have to know that x power minus 1 over minus 1 is basically minus 1 over x, right? Now simplify this. Minus 2 plus 2 ln of 2 become minus 1 over 2. Okay, so what do we have now? So one by one, let's simplify. That will be 4 plus, so this can be simplified to what? Let's see. So let's say if I have let me write this down here, 2 ln of 4. I know 4 is what? It is 2 power 2. So I will have 2 ln of 2 power 2. Now, the power can be sent to the beginning, right? So 2 times 2 will be 4 ln of 2. Okay, so that will be, this will equal to this. So this will become 4 ln of 2 minus 1 over 4. The minus bracket, we have 2 here. Minus, so let's expand the bracket. So minus 2 ln 2 and plus half. So here we have what? So let's do this. 4 minus 1 over 4 minus 2 plus half. That will be 2 and 1/4, and plus 4 ln 2 minus 2 ln 2 will be 2 ln 2. So your answer will be this as exact value. Or you can expand this and write this in the improper way, which is 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. 9 over 4 plus 2 ln 2. Or you can write 2.25 plus ln of 4. It is up to you. You can choose any of them as your answer. Okay, so the main point is that sometimes it will look hard to solve the equation or the question. We have to break it down into smaller pieces so we can solve it easily. That will be question number 6. Let's move on to question number 7. So right now we have a geometric progression, has the first term of 3 and the second term of 2.4. Now, as you can see, the first thing we are given is that it is a geometric progression. So whenever we have this, go back to your list of formula and write down the formulas that you need for that question. So I know that the n term is given by a, r, n minus 1. Now for the sum to infinity, that will be a over 1 minus r, and r has to be less than 1. The magnitude has to be less than 1. Now we have the formula. We can proceed with the question one by one. Now, the first term is a. We know this. A given to be 3. And the second term, which is n equal to 2. So u2 is replaced. So a is 3. R we don't know. So 2 minus 1 is 1. Is given to be 2.4. So 3r is 2.4. So r has to be 2.4 divided by 3. That will be 0.8. So basically the conclusion is we have used this information to find the value of r is 0.8 and the first term is 3. Now question is we have to find the sum of the first 8 terms. Okay, so now again let's use our formula here. This is the sum of the first n term. So first 8, replace n by the value of 8. So let's do this. So we know that the sum of the n term, first n term, is given by a 1 minus r power n here over 1 minus r. Replace the value here. You will have sum of the first 8 terms will be a is 3, 1 minus r is 0.8 power 8 over 1 minus 0.8. So 1 minus 0.8 power 8 times 3 divided by 0.2. That should be 12.5, correct to 3SF. Now for part B, find the sum to infinity. So use our formula. Sum to infinity will be a over 1 minus r. A is 3. 1 minus r is 0.8. So 3 divided by 0.2, that should be 15. So sum to infinity will be 15 as my answer. Now for part C, we have to find the least number of terms, so find n, right, for which the sum is bigger than 95% of the sum to infinity. Okay, so first, what is 95% of sum to infinity? So 95 over 100 times 15, which is our sum to infinity. 95 divided by 100 times 15, that will be 14.25, right? Now let's find this equation for us now. Find the least number of terms that will help us find this. So we know that the sum of the first n terms is given by our formula, which is a 1 minus r power n over 1 minus r. Now sum, we know a is 3, 1 minus r is 0.8 power n over 1 minus 0.8 will be 0.2. So we need the sum of the first n term to be more than 14.25. So let's solve for the value of n. First step, we can just cross multiply. You will have 3, 1 minus 0.8 power n, that will be 14.25 times 0.2, that will be 2.85. Now divide by 3, you will have 1, this remaining here, divide by 3, that should be 0.95. Now we have to make this become subject, right? So how can we do this? So first I can just send the value of 1 over here. You will have this more than 0.95 minus 1 minus 0.8 power n more than, so that will be minus 0.05. Let's check just to make sure. Yep, that is right. Now from this we have to find the value of n. But first we have to make this become, since we have negative on both sides, let's divide by minus 1 on both sides. You will have 0.8 power n. The sign will change to this 0.05. Okay, so now let's continue on this side. So to find the value of n, I have to take log on both sides. So let me take long or log if you want to. 0.8 n less than ln of 0.05. Okay, now n will come here. You have n ln of 0.8 has to be less than ln of 0.05. So definitely if you hear that noise, I apologize. It's when you leave downtown, there's a lot of police and ambulance, so yeah, my bad. Now when you work with logarithms, what I advise is, because of the value can be negative, so advise let's first write down the decimal values. We have n here. What is ln of 0.8? That will be minus 0.223. What is ln of 0.05? That will be minus 2.996. So n will be, when you divide by something negative, the sign will change. So this divided by minus 0.223. That should be 13.433. So basically n has to be at least more than this, which means n has to be 14 for it to be more than the sum to infinity. 95% of the sum to infinity. So n is 14 according to this equation. That is question 7. Let's move on to question number 8. So here we do not have to use a calculator in this question. So we have to show every single step of our work. Now we have a triangle, we know AB, and we have the angle here, and we have all this given to us. Now part A, given that the area of the triangle is 5.5, find the exact length of AC. So pretty easy. So based on that, based on the information provided, I know that I have to use the area to find the length. Now, how do you find the area of a triangle? Well, by observation, you can see that they gave us this side. They gave us the angle here. We have to find this side. So basically, we have to use the sine formula, which is half time AC time AB. Sine of the angle is supposed to give me 5.5. So replace and solve for the value of AC. Now, sine of 30, it is given to you already. It is 1/2. So you will have AC, AB is 2√3 plus 1. This is half, This also will be half. That will be 5.5. Now simplify. So half times half will be 1/4. So AC times 2√3 plus 1 times 1/4 is 5.5. Now, if you want to eliminate the 4, we have to multiply by 4 everywhere. So you will have AC 2, 3 plus 1, and that will be times 4, that should be 22. So 4 will go away, that will be 22. Now, AC, as you can see, we make this become subject, that will be 22 over 2√3 plus 1. So now we have to simplify because we want this to be in this form. So we have to multiply by the conjugate of this one. So it will be 2√3 minus 1, 2√3 minus 1. Now let's continue here. So simplify. On top you will have 44√3 minus 22. On the base you will have what? So this will be simplified to 2√3 square minus 1 square. So this is something we have, we don't have to know, but it's good to know, okay? For example, if you have a plus b times a minus b, that will give you a square minus b square. So here, since we have the same values, let's say this is a, this is b, so a plus b, a minus b should give you something like this. That's why I wrote this as this in this simplification. Now simplify, you will have 44√3 minus 22 over, that will be 4 times 3 should be 12, minus 1, that will be 11. So 44√3 minus 22 divided by 11. So divide by 11, you will have 4√3 minus 2. And this is my answer for the value of AC, where a and b are integers. So a is minus 2 and b is 4√3. So let's check if the value is positive. So minus 2 plus 4√3, yep, should be a positive value for it to be plausible, right? That is part A. Now for part B, we have to show that BC square is given by this. So pretty easy. We have to first find a way to find BC square. Now, AC, we found it was 4√3 minus 2. Now, how can we connect BC with the rest of this triangle? Well, if you guys have done many triangle questions in the past from O-level paper, I think paper 4024, you know we have to use the cosine rule, the cos rule. The cos rule will say what? It will say, if you have cos of the angle, it will give you this side, which is AB square, plus AC square minus BC square over 2 times AB times AC. That is the formula we have to know for cosine rule. Now, cos of 30, we know that already. That is given to us by √3 over 2. So let's replace in the formulas. Okay, cos 30 is √3 over 2 is equal to AB square, which will be 2√3 plus 1 square. AC square will be 4√3 minus 2 square minus BC square divided by 2 times AB, which is 2 root 3 plus 1, and AC will be 4 root 3 minus 2. Now simplify. 2 and 2 will go away, right? Now we have to simplify one by one. So I can first expand this. So what is the expansion of this? Take the first one, multiply by the bracket, you will have what? So 2 times 4 is 8. Root 3 times root 3 will be 3. Right? And that will be minus 4 root 3. Plus 1 will be plus 4 root 3 minus 2. So this will cancel out. 8 times 3 will be 24, minus 2 will be 22. So this will become 22. Now if I just cross multiply, I send this over here, you will have 22 root 3 equal to those values. Now we can simplify those as well, one by one. You will have, this will become 4 times 3 will be 12, right? And plus 4 root 3 plus 1 plus, that will become 16 times 3, that will be 48. But let's check. 16 times 3, 48, good. Now minus, that will be 8 root 3 plus 4 minus BC square. But my question is, we have to find the value of BC square, so we have to make this become the subject of formula. So first let's simplify one by one. So here we have 22 root 3 is equal to 12 plus 1 is 13 plus 48. So 12 plus 1 plus 48 and plus 4. That will be 65. So this will go away for now. And I have these two. So 4 minus 8 will be minus 4 root 3 minus BC square. Okay. Now to make this become subject, I have to send this to this side. You will have BC square will be 65 minus 4 root 3. Send this over here, become minus 22 root 3. So simplify. You will have BC square should be 65 minus 26 root 3. Okay, so this will be my answer for BC square. Now if I did make some mistake on the signs, you guys know what to do, because as you can see, I've shown you exactly the method of doing the question. If you guys do see any minus mistake or plus mistake, leave the comment, let other people know. That will be really helpful. But otherwise, the method is pretty clear. I hope I did not miss any step, and that will be should be your answer for question part B. Now for question number 9, we have vectors. So now the advice I would like to give you guys when working with vectors, always refer to the diagram. This is your best friend. The diagram always help you to find your answer, okay? So here we have OP is given by 2B. So this direction, OP is 2B. Now OS is 3A. Where's OS? OS is 3A, okay? Now SR is B, okay, B. And PQ is A. Okay, not bad. Now the lines OR and QS intersect at X. As you can see here, we have a point of intersection. Question part 1. Find OQ in terms of A and B. Okay, so O going to Q, so pretty easy. We begin from O, so O, we first go to P, P go to Q. As you can see, OQ can be found by starting from O, going to P, and P going to Q. So always refer to your diagram. That will be 2B plus A as my answer. Now for part B, find QS in terms of A and B. So where's QS? Q going to S. Now if you observe, Q, I can go to P, P going to O, O going to S. So let's write this down. QS, that will be Q going to P, P going to O, and then O going to S. Now, PQ is A, but QP will be the inverse direction. That should be minus A. Now, same thing. OP is 2B, Now PO will be the inverse direction, that should be minus 2B. Now OS, as you can see, that will be 3A. Okay, so 3A minus A will be 2A minus 2B. That will be your answer for part B. Now for part C, given that Qx is equal to mu times Qs, so that is a basically multiple of the vectors. Now we have to find Ox in terms of this. So pretty easy. What is Qx? It is Ox minus OQ. And mu is mu. Qs, we have seen it is this one, which is 2A minus 2B. So we have to find Ox. So Ox will be, so expand this, 2 mu A minus 2 mu B. When you send this over here, become plus OQ is 2B plus A, right? Because we have found this from part 1 already. Now we just have to factorize, right? So Ox will be 2 mu plus 1 A plus 2 minus 2 mu B. That will be my answer for part C. Now for part D, we also have this one now. Ox is lambda times OR. Okay, that is another equation that we have to use. Let's see. So what is OR? First, let's go check it out. From O going to R, we can go from O going to S, S going to R. So OR is equal to 3A plus B. So as you can see here, just replace, you have Ox will be lambda times 3A plus B. That will be Ox 3 lambda A plus lambda B. That will be Ox. That will be part D of the question. Now going back to part E, we have to find the value of mu and lambda. So pretty easy. We have to use the previous answers to find this answer. So from part C, we have realized that Ox is given by 2 mu plus 1 A plus 2 minus 2 mu B. But from part D, we have realized that Ox is also equal to 3 lambda A plus lambda B. As you can see, here we have Ox and Ox, so we conclude that, obviously, right, C must be equal to D, which means Ox, since they are the same thing, it should be equal to the same values, right? So replace, I will have 2 mu plus 1 plus 2 minus 2 mu B should be 3 lambda A plus lambda B. So now we have to compare the coefficients. First, let's take the coefficient of A on both sides. So we have 2 mu plus 1 has to give me 3A. No, 3 mu. 3 lambda, sorry. That's my first equation. Now for this one, 2 minus 2 mu has to be lambda. That is my equation number 2. Now let's solve. Let's make this become subject. So you have 2 mu will be 3 lambda minus 1. Replace 2 mu in here. You will have 2 minus 2 mu is 3 lambda minus 1. So 2 minus 3 lambda plus 1 has to be this. Send this over here, you will have 4 lambda. That will be 3. Lambda will be 3 over 4. Now replace the value here. So 2 mu will be 3 times 3 over 4 minus 1. Mu will be this value here. So 3 times 3 over 4 minus 1 divided by 2. That should be 5 over 8. So we have found the values that we need. So mu will be 5 over 8 and lambda will be 3 over 4. Now part F, we have to find the ratio of Qx over XS. Okay, so let's see where's that. Okay. So going back to my first equation, I have Qx is equal to mu. Mu is 5 over 8, so 5 over 8 Qs. So what does that mean? If you observe here, Qx, so Qxs. So basically, if I have a line here, this is my line Q, this is S, X is somewhere over here. So it means that my ratio, so Qs is the whole thing, it is 8, that is the whole length is 8. Qx is this one, it is 5, so it means that this one will be what? 8 minus 5, that will be 3. So here I'm looking for the ratio of Qx, that will be 5 over 3. Okay, as you can see on the diagram, xx is 3, 5 over 3. Now for part G, find the value of OR over OX. Okay, so same thing, my equation was from part D, sorry, it was OX, ratio of lambda OR. So OX, lambda is 3 over 4 OR. So we just have to send this over here. You will have what? OX divided by OR on both sides. You will have 3 over 4. But if you don't understand this, no worries. Let's make a drawing of that. Should be easy as well. So we have a straight line like this. This is O, and this is R, according to the diagram. Now we know that according to the equation, OX is 3, so 3, but we know that OR is 4. You want to find the ratio of OR, which is the big one. So I think I made a mistake here because it should be OR over OX, not OX over OR. So OR will be the big one, which is 4. OX will be 3. Answer will be 4 over 3. So same way here. When you have this equation, if you want to find OR over OX, you have to divide by OX on both sides. So you will have 1 is 3 over 4 OR over OX. Then make this become subject, you will have OR over OX will be 4 over 3 as your answer. Okay, so that will be your question number 9. So the point here is that whenever you have to do vector questions, always refer back to your diagram. They are your best friend. Now let's move on to question number 10. The number of bacteria in a sample is given by this equation, B equal to P plus Q exponential 2T. Okay, where P and Q are constants and T is time in weeks. Okay, so that are the these are the information given to us. Now initially, so what does initially means? Initially means at time equal to 0, there was 500 bacteria, which is what? Number of bacteria was B, was 500 initially, which increased to 600 in 1 week. So which is when time equal to 1, B was 600. So we have to use those two information to find the value of P and Q. So pretty easy. We are given the equation is P Q exponential 2T. So first one, when T equal to 0, B is 500. So 500 equal to P plus Q exponential 2 power 0. Now we have 500 is P plus Q. Exponential 0 is 1. You can try. Exponential power 0 should be 1. So anything power 0 is 1. Okay. Now we form our first equation. So P plus Q is 500. That is equation number 1. Now same steps for this one. B is 600 when T is equal to 1. So Q exponential square. So P is equal to 600 minus Q exponential square. That is my equation number 2. So here I have P. I can replace and solve this simultaneous equation. So let's do that. So you will have 600 minus q exponential square plus q is 500. So we can first send this over here. You will have minus q exponential square plus q. 500 minus 600 will be minus 100. Okay, now we can factorize q outside. You will have plus 1 is equal to minus 100. So q will be this divided by minus this plus 1. So exponential square minus that value plus 1, right? So let's do this. Minus exponential square plus 1 is this value. Minus 100 divided by that value should be 15.6517. So correct to 3SF will be 15.7 for the value of Q. Now we have to find the value of P. P will be 600 minus Q. Let's take the value of Q to be this one times exponential square. So 600 minus answer exponential square. That will be 484.3. So correct to 3SF, that should be 484. So P is 484 and Q has to be 15.7. The answers to 3SF. That will be part A. Now for part B, we have to find the number of bacteria, which is find the value of B when T equal to 2. So now we know we have the equation. B is equal to P. P is 484 plus Q, which is 15.7 exponential to T. So B is what? When T is equal to 2 for the time in weeks. That will be 4. So 484 plus 15.7 times exponential power 4. That will be 1341.19. So 3SF, that will be 1340 for the bacteria in after 2 weeks. Now part C, find the first week in which the number of bacteria is more than 1 million. So just basically find the week that the bacteria is more than 1 million, the first week. So B has to be more than 1 million. That is my condition, right? We know that B is given by my formula, which is 484 plus 15.7 exponential to T has to be more than 1 million. So solve for the value of T. So first, that is my subject. So 1 million minus 484, that should be 999,516. Exponential to T, so divide by 15.7, that should be 63663.43949. Now to make 2T become subject, we have to send exponential to the other side. So when you send, let's say we have exponential A is equal to B. To find the value of A, we send this to the other side. It will become A is equal to ln of B. Something you have to know when working with exponential and logarithms. Become ln of the value here, 63663.43949. So ln of that will be this. So 2T more than 11.06. So T has to be divided by 2. That will be 5.5306. Okay, so find the first week in which the number of bacteria is more than this one. It should be more than this, so basically it has to be week number 6 as your answer. That will be question number 10. Now let's move on to question number 11. So here we have to show the left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So let's simplify one by one. So first thing is, what is tan x? Tan x is sin x over cos x. So you will have sin x multiplied by sin x over cos and divided by 1 minus cos. Now simplify this time, this will be sin square x over cos x. Now we can simplify this as well. So when you divide by 1 minus cos x, what would you get? You will get sin square x over cos x multiplied by 1 minus cos x. Okay, so let's simplify again. Let's see what do we have. Sin square x over cos x minus cos square x. Okay, so let's see what else can we do from now. Now we know that sin square x can be written as 1 minus cos square x, but can we use this here? Most likely not. Let's see what else can we do. I feel like I missed something because this is going far than we need to go. But let me see what else did I miss. This is okay. This is all right. And now what else can I do? Let's see. So here I can have sin x is what it is. 1 minus cos square x. Okay. Now that will be over cos x minus cos square x. So I can break this down into two parts, but I don't know if that's going to be useful or not. Most likely not. Okay, so I know what I missed. Look at this. This is really interesting, because if you're going to be doing this way, it is going to take a long time to solve this question. So the point here is that this is not needed. Okay, so here I know it is 1 minus cos square x over cos x multiplied by 1 minus cos x. Now if I want to simplify this, you have to know the difference of squares. So basically my idea is I can rewrite this as 1 square minus cos square x over cos x 1 minus cos x. So if you were to factorize, you will have 1 minus cos x and 1 plus cos x, right? That is the factorization of the differences of squares. So that will be my value at the base. I can just minus now. I can just simplify. That will go away. So I will have 1 plus cos x over cos x. That will be 1 over cos x plus cos x over cos x. That will be 1 plus, this is 1 plus sec x, sorry, not square, sec x. So your answer will be, this is shown as required 1 plus sec x. So the main point here is that here we can write this in terms of this, and whenever you have, let's say example again, a square minus b square, the difference of squares, we can know that the factorization is a plus b times a minus b. Should be something like that. Okay, so that will be shown as required for part 1. Now let's move on to part 2. Here we have to solve the equation. Okay, so let's do one by one, step by step again. So here we have tan, we have cot, we have sec. So let's break everything down into simple pieces. So I know that tan is sine over cos. I know cot is cos over sine. I know sec will be 1 over cos. So let's replace all the values so we can have the terms in simpler forms. So 5, that will be sin x over cos x, minus 3, that will be cos x over sin x, equal to 2 over cos x. Okay, so now we have to simplify one by one. So let's first simplify the left hand side. So this kind of question, we have done this many times already. So whenever you have difference of fractions, they have different bases, we have to combine them together. We can make them become the same base. So multiply the base by each other, you will have cos x, sin x. Then we have to cross multiply, so 5 sin square x minus 3 cos square x. That is equal to 2 over cos x. Now simplify, these will cancel out. And we can send this over here, you will have 5 sin square x minus 3 cos square x will be 2 sin x. Now we can change this to what? So as we know, cos square x is 1 minus sin square x. You will have 5 sin square x minus 3, 1 minus sin square x is 2 sin x. Now simplify, you will have 5 sin square x minus 3 plus 3 sin square x will be 2 sin x. So 5 plus 3 will be 8 sin square x. Send this over here will be minus 2 sin x minus 3, that will be 0. So now we can factorize and see what can we do. 8 can be written as 4 sin x and then 2 sin x. 3 is 3 times 1, I can have 1 here, I can have 3 here. So I have to have minus 2. So the way to get minus 2 is to having minus 6. Why? Because 3 minus 3 times 2 is minus 6. And here we have plus 4 to get minus 2. So this is the factorization of this equation. Now again, if you guys don't know how to factorize, no big deal. Just use the formula, okay? There's a formula given to you on the sheet itself. As you can see here, this is the formula for quadratic equation. So let me show you actually how to do that. For example, here I have 8 sin square x minus 2 sin x minus 3 has to be 0. This is A, B, and C. So basically sin x has to be minus b, that will be 2, plus minus b square minus 4 times a, so 4 times a times c, over 2a will be 16. So this is the formula used to find the answers. Now 4 minus 4 times a times c, that should be exact. So 2, so we have 2 plus minus 100 over 16. That will be 2 plus 100, so root of 100 divided by 16 will be 0.5, or it can be 2 minus root of 100 divided by 16 will be minus 0.5. So you can see we also can use the formula to find the answer for factorization, so you don't need to actually know how to factorize. If you don't know, just use the formula. Now again, so let's solve this. So sine of x will be 3 over 4. Sine of x will be minus half. Now one by one, if sine is positive, it will be in my first quadrant and in my second quadrant. Okay, so x will be sine inverse of 3 over 4. That will be 48.6 degrees, but also has to be in my second quadrant, will be 180 minus 48.6, that should be 131.4 for my other angle. Now for this one, given that x sin x is negative, it will have to be in my third quadrant and in the fourth quadrant. Now, because it is a negative, I will use a trick. I will first find theta. For example, it can be any angle. I will name mine theta. Theta will be sine inverse of the positive value. So that will be 30 degrees. But now I have to find the value of x. X will be according to my quadrants. As you can see here, this one will be 180 plus theta, and this will be 360 minus theta. Okay, so one by one. 180 plus theta will be 210, and this will be 330. So this is my answer for x. As you can see, x has to be between 0 and 360, and those values are indeed between 0 and 360. So that will be the last question of this paper. I hope you find this somewhat helpful. As always, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.